of letting us in. Happy Monday. Wow. We are here. I think we're actually everywhere at the same time. Yes, we are going through, which is shocking. So far everything's working, which we expected, right? And we're actually talking that today because why expect it not to work, right? And I have a good little carryover from a conversation earlier that I'd love to touch on. But this is Second Cup of Coffee. I'm Jason.
I'm Peely.
And we are about to get started. All right, so welcome back. It's Monday.
Aloha.
Peely's got coffee. We got kiddos about to enter the room.
Yes.
Make sure that their presence is heard. And on that fact, we've had a really awesome start to the week here. Got up full of energy. Kids got up happy. Everybody's been moving along, getting a lot of stuff done. Hope the same for you. We also came off a solid weekend, right? So it was a weekend here where we really dove in and wanted to discuss just a lot about making sure that we have a good grip on where we were to go with this week. And our whole focus was making sure that we were going to make some choices about schools potentially opening back up for the daycare for the kiddos. We wanted to talk about that, make some changes just because now is the time to look forward. And today is the day about looking forward to your future. And of course, well, you can look at your future, but it's only going to be about what you do right now that's going to start leading into that path. So what did we learn this weekend?
We learned that Luke really loves music.
He
I
does.
was just in there. I mean, this wasn't this weekend. This was just right now. I was just in there. And somehow he's found the app, the music app, and he's making music, playing on the piano, figuring out sound and all these things. And I'm just like, wow, our kid is amazing. So this weekend, what did I learn this weekend? You know what? I've realized I'm going to make it my personal mission. I mean, we have our mission at the Jason Peely Project. And we actually have, we're all about growth and we're always growing what we're doing. So for me, my personal mission is to just get as much aloha and aloha to the world and everybody in it. That's my personal, deep down in my na'au, in my tummy mission. But what were we discussing? We were discussing about our mission in the car, and we came up with this amazing phrase. And of course, it slipped out of my head, but you wrote it down.
Yeah, and see, that's it, because we discussed, but I'm going to track this so we can go back to it. But it's really, we kept thinking about what is the message that we want to get across here? What is that thing that we want to continue to bring to you? And it's tactical advice to a fulfilling life.
Yes.
And that really carries through our message, right? Because that's what we want, right? We want to provide tactical steps, tactical advice, whether it's from us or the people that come in the show that can help you find a more fulfilling life. And that can be whether you need to improve your mental toughness, improve your health, grow your wealth, any of those topics. And we're not perfect. We're here to learn with you, but these are the steps that we're using and see other people taking that are really driving forward their days, their weeks, their others. So, I'll throw out a couple other things while Peely's out there. I also learned that in Latin, the word quarantina or quarantine was quarantina means 40 days. And that was used to be based on designated how long a quarantine can happen, right? So I think our extended quarantine, we're starting to see that move away, move points, and other people are taking steps along with that. And also the economy, just the way that's not directly tied to the stock market, which was also shocking, right? Because the stock market is really pushing forward, really bullish, looking at that we're really opportunistic about where the future lies. And that leads to a couple of things, right? So regardless that, small businesses are really taking a hit and probably go out. Well, most of the stock market is larger corporations, larger companies that had the balance sheet, had the reserves, had the willingness and ability to sustain throughout. So on that prospect, although a lot of businesses, smaller businesses are really getting hurt right now and potentially are never coming back, the economy still, from a large business perspective, the stock market is really, really still looking forward that it's a good time. So where does that push for us? Where does that push for us in terms of what is our step to provide tactical advice to a fulfilling life?
What steps are we going to give people? I mean, we're all about having a fit, rich life. And now having this additional layer on top of that, just this additional kind of pinpointedness of what we want to do to give people tactical steps. So like what I said before, I want to push as much aloha as I can out into the world. But how am I going to do that without giving everyone the way to show it, the way to live it, the way to be able to live that positive, live that amazing life without those steps? So how are we going to do that? Well, we're doing it right now. So what kind of steps are we going to give everyone?
Well, like parenting, right? So us trying to work out together was always a task, right? So sometimes when we were going to CrossFit, we were able to use the daycare for the time being, but it's always a task. And even right now, if we tried to do a workout together with the 3 kids outside with us, it's just not happening, right? You got one running in, as we said, or other points, or kids jumping in or running in or everything else point. But we found that, you know, the thing that's working for us is doing this you go, I go. So basically people go out there and do a set, you know, so running, some kettlebell, some bike, some step ups, and then I will be with the kids. And then in our little downtime with the kids, maybe we'll do something like little sit-ups or push-ups or something in between. And while Peely takes her 3 to 4 minutes, she'll do that, come back, and then I'll go. We'll do that back and forth. So we're constantly with the kids, but the other person's getting the workout done and we're doing it together. So that's actually been something that's been really working for us right now. And we're doing this in these quick spurts where you go out there, you get 3 minutes in, 3 minutes off, 3 minutes in, 3 minutes off. You do that for a full 45, 48, 50 minutes and can be really beneficial for you to get a quick workout in under an hour and push forward.
And we also love challenges. The other thing we're doing is hashtag 50 with Will or 50 push-up challenge, which just basically means you do 50 push-ups every day for 30 days. And the thing is, this is scalable, folks. You hear the words push-up and automatically people like, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, if you had asked Peely back then and you told me to do a push-up, I would be like, no, not at all. But the thing is, you can scale it. Go to a wall. If you really can't do anything for like any push-ups, go to a wall, put your hands like this against the wall and push and keep on like working your feet backwards, push, and then go to a table. Make sure it's a sturdy table. I asked somebody to do this in another group and they're like, Peely, the table broke and I almost killed myself. And I was like,
well, don't do it on a car table. So that's our first step there.
Yeah.
But
it's scalable. So
we are not responsible for tables breaking or anything else or those points or
this is our disclaimer.
Yeah, but our disclaimer. So
challenge yourself, get out there and find a tribe of people who are willing to be your accountability partners, because that is key. I mean, call Jason and I up. We'll accountability partner you to the day that you finally get it. But yeah, so start small. Scale it. That means what scaling means is like you take the push-up, you put up against a wall and you do what you can. You put up on a table and you do what you can until you lower yourself until you're actually on the ground. So that's what I did when I first started in CrossFit. I mean, Jason remembers I couldn't do a push-up. And this was like after the birth of my 3rd child. I wasn't overweight, but I was definitely like very weak. My body was weak. And I went there and I kind of felt dumb. But the thing is, like, that was me telling me that. Nobody at that CrossFit gym thought that. Number one, most people are too busy to like even give you a second thought. Number two, they were there, the ones that actually really cared deeply and knew that I could do it and helped me take the steps to get there. So that's what we want to do for you, whether it's in fitness, whether it's in health, whether it's in jumping into real estate, into multifamily. You let us know how we can help you and we'll give you the steps.
Because what Peely's really talking to here is that daily we're trying to do practices, because the first thing we need to do each day is take that down, is win against ourselves, right? So we need to beat ourselves daily, because it's the first person or the first thing that's going to stop us is our mind or us, right? We're going to stop ourselves first. And I'll talk to someone today, I don't want to name, but a friend has a disease, right? And there's 100 cases of this a year. And right now, he's struggling, of course, understandably, right? Because what happened with COVID shut down all these things that were electives. Well, his treatment was deemed elective, right? So that parlayed him taking the time to be able to have his moments back. And now, he's finally back having his treatment, but his response was, yeah, there's no guarantee it will work. But I shot back at him and said, but there's no guarantee it won't work. Right. So like we could start like that. We have to change it around. And I brought up to the story of Colin O'Brady, I believe, who was burned head to toe and almost died in Thailand. And he showed up to see his mom, and the doctors basically said, you're never going to do anything again, not even walk. And his mom said, and if it's not Colin O'Brady, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure it is. But that his mom said, well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I want to do a triathlon. And from that point, it was just like the most important steer point. He just told he's never going to walk again, but that was his focus, right? I said, I'm going to focus on this. That's where I'm put all my energy. And now he's gone on to not only do that and do all these other things, win these, have the fastest part to do it, but he's now conquered these amazing, amazing things, broken all kinds of world records, from like walking across Antarctica or one of these really insane races. And it just drives forward that we have to believe in our mind first, because that's going to lead us through. Because so many times, like if you're just your mind's gonna stop you, well, then there's no chance. It's zero chance.
Well, I'm thinking about, since you're bringing him up, I'm thinking about the story of Bethany Hamilton. Oh, she is a world-class athlete. She is a surfer. She was about 15 when she went surfing with a bunch of friends, and a shark took her arm. If that happened, my mind first goes, I'm never gonna go jump in the ocean again. But the thing is, that happened to her. She lost her arm, regardless, maybe even in spite of. This woman has become just a surfing icon, because she took that and she used her. Now she had this, she created a platform for herself. She became a world champion, world-class surfer. And she competes against the best, and she wins, and she doesn't have an arm. So she got back into the water. She trained. She was 15, folks. She was a few years younger than me back when this happened. She was 15. She got back on her board. She surfs mega waves. And I'm not just talking about those little lumps. This is like overhead, 10 feet overhead, huge waves. This girl rips. And she doesn't have an arm. So it's all up here. It's all up here. And this tells your body how to react. So get this right first.
And so, Greg, I pull this up here because I like working out with a sledgehammer. Works the farm, especially if you work outdoors. Popeye is my idol. So, broken 8 of 10 fingers, and if you see this one up close, this finger was shattered with a sledgehammer. So, yes, I know the use of a sledgehammer. It's not to hit your finger, but different aptitudes. I was 13 at the time, but I found out the hard way. But it is a valuable resource there. Lots of CrossFit workouts use them at every other point. So, a fun thing you can do right there, which just talks to what you can do with, okay, I don't have kettlebells or barbells. You have things around your home, right? So I threw, I have a backpack there that I've been running to get long runs in, that I've been just throwing weight in. So I've been carrying 30 pounds by a run out there on my back. And it just, not ideal, the backpack's ripping through me on my arms because it's not made to be used this way, but it's just getting used this way, right? Well, we haven't used it lately, where am I going with the backpack?
Nope.
But in that fact, okay, now it's a weight sack, and so now it's part of my workout plan. So look at what you have out there, look at what you can do, look at what you can use yourself to really just have a great workout. You got to commit, right? You just got to say, okay, not that I can't, right? Oh, I have nothing to work out with. Well, okay, just make something to work out. We have these benches that were just sitting there as, I guess, decorative pieces. If people have that stuff, and they're not decorative pieces anymore. They are basically our boxes, our step-up boxes, whatever they are.
Step-up boxes are like box jump boxes. We use them for everything. We use them if I don't feel like going on the ground doing my push-ups, those days that I'm just like, my arms hurt, but I want to get my push-ups in, I do that. Yep. We do our step-ups, we do our jump-ups. What else? I think you even tried to like lift them once. That was probably not the best idea.
No, lifting wasn't that bad, but I lifted them with a kettlebell on top of them, and that almost, it didn't end bad. So I'm not gonna say it almost ended bad. It didn't end bad. So
don't want to know. Purpose
there is that you try everything, and it may not work, but if it doesn't kill you, then you have a chance to try it again. So
look, Jacob.
Yeah,
Jacob.
Hey, Jacob.
Save Jason.
So Jacob, always coming in strong here. Strong beliefs lead to definitive action, which leads to big results, and little belief lead to small action, which leads to really small results and confirmation bias. Yeah, absolutely. So your point here is you have to think big, right? get on these paths for listening to some people for a time and just find their narrative. What I'm enjoying now is James Altucher. Hope I'm saying that correctly, but he just talks about writing down 10 ideas a day just to get really your mind working. And I found that it's super helpful, right? Because I get a lot of ideas running on a point, but you put those points on, you start putting your finger to the pen to paper. It just brings on so much other greatness in everything you're doing, because you start thinking outside the box, because we get so conditioned to just stay within our lane, right? Okay, this is how it is, and if it doesn't work, okay, I guess it doesn't work. But you look at this and you say, okay, these are the hands I've dealt. And I was reading something the other day. Okay, so if you get dealt a bad, really hand of cards and you have no way of winning, well, here's your thing: lose or change the rules. Change the rules.
Change the rules. Actually, you know what? I think that's a great idea. I challenge everyone that's listening today: write down 10 ideas. Do not let your head get in the way of writing those ideas. You have an idea, whether it's, I'm going to walk on the moon. Fine. Write it down. Just write it down. Write down those ideas that pop into your head, because you never know. One of those 10 ideas might be the one that you need to grow that pillar, grow that next step, take your life to the next level.
Yeah. So I actually saw something the other day that I thought was I was like, man, we're not having any more kids, but if we were to have another kid, I would definitely do this, right? So while the kids are playing in sand, and everybody knows taking your little kids into sand, what a mess that is, because they have sand everywhere. Every time they get food, the food's in their mouth. Well, they were actually taking Cheerios and grinding Cheerios up and making sand like playthings out of the Cheerios. And so now they have a little place where the kids can play in the Cheerio sand, and they're not eating sand, and you're not trying to keep the sand out of all. If you had little kids, I don't need to go that far, but it never ends well. So on that fact, but how sick is that, right? And we're 16 minutes in, so you're crushing a workout out there. If you are, really hit it out and let us know what you're doing for working out. Sledgehammer, we love that, right? Something like that, awesome little thing. Running, we've been running a ton. Peely's really been putting the work in with running. So got a good amount of miles in this weekend. I've been feeling good with my runs, been good on my pace. We're doing 75 hard, of course. We talked about that. So we're doing our 2 workouts a day. So we're each getting one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I think that's been a good transition since last time, where I'd get one in the morning. Peely was trying to get in 2, either mid or end of the day. And that was always difficult, right? Because next thing you know,
next thing I know, it's like 10 in the evening. And I'm just like, I still have a whole 45 minutes. I still have to work out.
But I think the good thing that we're learning from this point, it's just like anything you're supposed to be doing, get it done early, right? There's no advantage to waiting. There's no advantage to the point of getting to.
If it's important, then get it done.
Yeah. Well, if it's something valuable, right? So you can only analyze for so much before it becomes an afterthought, right? Because you move on to the next thing you're analyzing. You just never really just expand from where you are.
So what have we done today? What did you do so far?
I ran.
You ran? I ran, and I did my 50 push-ups.
50 push-ups.
50 with Will.
So that's a good one right there. I'll get that in later today. We haven't figured out what we're doing later today, but we'll figure it out. And it's just that point. Sometimes you just got to get out there and start doing, right? So I think with my runs where I don't know the direction, just run in one direction, right? And that's the same thing with business. If you don't know where to go, well, start going somewhere, and you'll either find out it's the wrong way and you pivot and you can figure out what doesn't work, or you'll find that that's the right path. But I'll guarantee what's not going to get you anywhere is standing still.
Nope.
So that leads us into going into tomorrow. We are talking about, so the topic tomorrow will be, so far you've survived 100 of your worst days. So you're undefeated.
You're undefeated. If you're here, if you're listening to this, if you're here with us, you are undefeated. You have survived everything.
And so looking at that, what else can you do?
What else can you do? I mean, are we going to dive into it, or are we going to wait until tomorrow?
No, wait till tomorrow. Okay. But of course, please hit that subscribe button. Yes. Go over there. Go to YouTube. We got a lot of fun things coming up. So some great people on board, some great interviews coming up, some great people helping up, some video editing. We are continuing to expand.
Today on Mothers of Multifamily, we have Ashley Wilson. She is a fantastic mom. She flips. She She does large multifamily. She has 2 amazing kids. She has an amazing husband. They have this amazing business together, and she lets you know how she does it as a mother, as a wife, as everything. And Sorrel, you are amazing. Thank you so much for your inspiration. This amazing woman sent me a card out of sort of nowhere. She was like, Keely, what's your address? I'm like, here, my address. I haven't talked to you for ages, but here's my address. And she sent me this amazing card, and it like warmed my heart. And this is what it means to give each other strength. You say, I give you strength, you give me strength, you give us strength. And this is why I want to make sure that the world gets more kindness, more aloha, more everything out there. And just aloha is strength, folks. Kindness is strength. Live it, love it.
All right. So tomorrow, check back for more tactical advice. I like that for a fulfilling life. On second cup of coffee.
Second cup of coffee, folks.
All right. It is Monday. See you tomorrow.
Aloha.
So,
I'm sorry. We're still here.